just thought they were so natural and great, and I love the fact that you were so careful, or somehow the film is not cute, or it doesn't push anything. These actors are great, and it's just really a lovely film.
Thanks, Jim. You know, I gotta embarrass Jim, right? Like it's like the going back. Jim once told me, like many years ago, you remember this? You said your brother saw like Lens, one of my early films. He said you liked it more than your films. Okay, and I remember seeing that in his eyes, right? And it's like, you know, my brother said he likes you. You know, this is a long time ago. And I remember, like, I just want to tell you something. My mom is on oxygen right now because it's hard for our family. She's not doing. She's 91, and she's always loved Jim. And like, you know, all my life I've had to hear like, you know, how come, you know, I love Jim. Did you see Jim's movie, Jim? And you know, say after I'd show her my movie, she goes, yeah, that's Jim. Anyway, Jim just came out. She, you know, and so like she goes like this. I swear to God, my sister takes the oxygen mask off her face because she couldn't be here with us today. And it's just a crack. She goes, tell Jim I said hello. I'm like, Mom, I'm sure my film time said, give my love to Jim. Anyway, so you know,
my love to her.
You got me back. I'm
the hell with my brother.
Yeah.
Well, I have a lot of things I'd like to say, but I think we probably want to get some questions. But first, I have to just say how beautifully made the film is. I love the editing, the photography, the use of music. Just very beautifully made. But he's been doing this a long time, making handmade films. And what a relief to see this kind of film. And also what a relief to me to see a film with children as the central characters, where all the adults are really just peripheral. And I find that really a relief, and I know there's a beautiful tradition of this by, well, it's sort of forced in Iranian cinema because they can't address a lot of adult subjects without being censored. So there's a whole history of films of the last 20, 25 years of being centered around children as characters.
Yeah. In fact, Children of Paradise very much influenced this movie.
So, but you made such a beautiful one and kept the adults extremely peripheral, which I really appreciate. But yeah, just a beautiful film. There's a little Rascals in there too.
Yeah, there's a Little Rascals. There's a lot of like, there's Three Stooges, Little Rascals. There's a yeah, it's a lot of weird influences. Like I wanted to make, you know, I think you'd appreciate this, gentlemen. I wanted to make a film, like it was my first film, if I could actually challenge myself to unknow everything I knew somehow. And I was looking around, and I knew that money was part of the problem. People putting pressure on me to do things I didn't feel. And then I looked at my, you know, Lana, why don't you come over here for a second? And I looked at this, and I said, hey, I guess I got something pretty good right here, you know, that I could, it was right there, you know. And that was like, so I felt that it was a good place to start. So I talked to Lana about what, you know, it was like, you know, when you, Jim, like when you listen to your children whisper, or you see a child whisper, and you don't really understand the language. You just wish you could get a little closer because you want to disrupt it. Like I wanted to make a film like that. I wanted to be really close and not disrupt their language. I just wanted to get, you know.
Well, you did. And you know, the film doesn't even need language at all, and yet the language in there is very strong. So, nice job.
Nico the poet. Nico came up with, I dreamed I was a frog. Things like, he also just go, what are you laughing at, Daddy? And I go, I don't know, Nico, it's funny. He goes, I dreamed I was a frog. And it's like serious to him. It's like, I dreamed I was a frog. And actually, it's a beautiful thing.
I love you with my brains and my heart.
That's a Nico. That's a Nico. He came up with good stuff. He was difficult sometimes to work with, right? You know when she's telling the story in bed about the panda? It's me. If you look at that ever again, you'll see Nico doesn't shave. And she's touching Nico's face because Nico was being so difficult that night. Remember? He was just, I even want to, off-camera lines is not Nico's thing, you know? He doesn't stick around for your close-up. But he
like
really
the
was.
whiteout,
Yeah.
fixing his teeth
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
whiteout. Nice try.
Nice the way out with,
Some peppermint.
yeah.
We weren't gonna really put white out.
He was actually scared for a second. He really put white on his teeth.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the music too is great. It's very, the whole thing, it's just somehow everything works together so perfectly.
You know, the thing about it too is like when you're not working with like people bothering you every 2 minutes. That's part of the thing. Is I just didn't want to make. That's why it's the length it is. It's just the length it is. I didn't want to make it longer or shorter. And no one bothered. I mean, you know, I was bothered by reality, my son going down or dirt in my face. But it wasn't, or chain cutters to cut fences to go shoot in places where I wasn't supposed to shoot. Don't listen to that, students. But anyway, but I was doing all that stuff. And the thing is that, but in terms of people bothering me, like, people would say, don't use Sigur Rós, don't use, you'll never get that. And I was like, no, I'll get it. I just will get it. I mean, I have to get it. And so I wore them all down. I would, find the mother of the lawyer who represented, canned heat and just bug the shit out of her. And I'd say I was Jim Jarmusch. Sorry, Jim. Comes in handy sometimes.
You use the tactic of looking people your whole career.
Yes, that's my thing.
There's nothing new with that.
Hey,
But we're glad.
there's so much fucking truth in that, man. Jim knows, man. But I did want to just also bring Frances up here, because we did see Frances this time. And Frances, I couldn't be prouder than to have this young lady be part of this.
Well, can I ask you, though,
Sure.
where you're, what a beautiful film. Thank you for that. But where did the idea for this originate?
It's more, it's like, Jim, like, it's like, like, what it is like, I know you probably can understand, it's like, when I'm back up against the wall and I'm feeling like, why am I even doing this? It's worth doing. That's when I kind of say I have to do it. Like when I'm at that have to do it, then because there's no embrace, there was no outside embrace. Of all things, I moved to LA. What kind of ridiculous thing is that? But I'm living in LA and I'm losing everything and I'm not getting anything done. And I said to myself, this is the worst time to make a film in my life. And so that's when I had to do it, like, to prove to myself either I make films or I don't. So that's part. The genesis was part of like a have to do it kind of thing. And then from that, I went to Lana and I started thinking about the things I love. And I love film. I love black and white film. I think it's the language of dreams. Just closer to my mind. And grain, I love that, and I love my children. And I wanted to do. That's where I wanted to start. Something I understood. Something was true.
And I'm just so glad. And yours too. Where did your inspiration begin?
The film is a little bit autobiographical, except for that I'm from Ghana and I couldn't go home and shoot it. And so this sort of immigrant tale became something about not being able to go back, sort of being stuck in the water between, like you can't go home again, sort of thing, that feeling.
There's something great about it being transposed in that way, because you feel it from the landscape and the accent, so you're not quite sure. There's something very great about it. It makes it universal, or makes us think about where things take place, or what cultures bring with them to other cultures. Anyway, really nice. And where did you film?
I filmed that in Morgan City, Louisiana, right at the tip.
Yeah, those two young girls, between Lana and her, that's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool place to start.
Fantastic.
I love those two women to grow up and rule the world.
I want to live
Be a
that
little better
way.
off.
I hope you guys, definitely. Well, should we have some questions? Because you guys probably have better questions than I do, but I'm just happy because these films are
started from Nico and I, like he said, we talk to each other and like make up stories. And I think he kind of based the movie off of some of those stories. And he would like be like, Lana, we're gonna make a story out of about these two kids, and you go on and on. And I kind of added a few of my ideas, and just
I think also I don't, I don't know, for some reason I'm at a point in my life where I don't trust anything I can think of. So I don't trust my intellect. I trust my feelings. I trust, it's like music. I know that film is closer to music to me than it is an intellectual concept. And I feel that for me, I wanted to get just much more to an emotional thing. And listening to my children and talking to my children was great because they speak in emotional imagery. That's the best way I can put it. And I felt that that was a source that I wanted to just kind of get. And road movies, like you said, not being able to go home alone. There's a kind of a feeling of of just being lost in an adult world. I feel lost in an adult world, honestly. I really do. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I really don't half the time. I don't want to get carried away, but I don't know what's going on. I look and I see this bullshit they're doing to people, and torturing people, and money that everyone owes. It's just like there's some. I feel like a kid. I feel like an outsider, and I feel so close to them that I'm wandering in this tundra. And children are wandering, and I just want to, they're innocent, they're beautiful.
That purity is so reflected in this film.
Well, I mean, that's why I got so choked up in the beginning when I talked about John Cassavetes, because he just taught me so much about it's not the thing you're saying, it's the thing you're feeling, and it's very good to give children doable things that they will come alive if you just say, put this on your face, it tastes like whipped cream. Now, just pretend you're shaving like daddy. Only rule is don't look at the camera. And Nico just goes. And so that I really wanted to work in that freshness, because I often work with, I love actors, don't get me wrong, I love actors, but there's a business that's formed on who gets paid the most money, and you get these actors and they come in and they terrorize you sometimes, or their agents do, and I just was so sick of that. I just am so sick of that. It's just I've wasted years of my life, trying to, but I love actors, don't get me wrong, but I love people. I love people, and I love human behavior, and to me, doable actions for these children, like chasing each other, or the things they would do. But Lana's really amazing. Like she's unbelievable person. I'm her dad. She's amazing, and she knows bullshit. She's not precocious. She's, like Jim said, she's not sentimental and precocious and cute in that way. Like she really gets what she believes, and she doesn't do what she doesn't believe, and I thank her for that. She's like my true north or something. The water, she liked the water imagery. And, like movies in water, like the end of 400 Blows, or the ocean is this weird place, the border between the elements. It's right where all the elements come together, and there's an expanse to it, like the expanse of a child at the edge of everything. And I didn't have the ending of the movie when I shot the movie. I didn't have it. I didn't know. Like I shot it, they come home on the bus, and it kind of ended on the bus, and I wasn't satisfied. And I went back and I went in the water with the kids by myself, and I just started. I thought it'd be tranquil, And I shot this. I thought it was going to be this really tranquil shot. And I came home, and I looked at it, I thought it was a disaster. I thought it was like a Jackson Pollock painting. I was like, fucking shit, Jackson Pollock painting. And I went, holy shit, that's great. Like, wow, it's pure energy. It's pure kinetic life at the end, and that ending surprised me. So that's kind of the good thing about people not bothering you to make a film. That came 9 months after shooting in Los Angeles. I was in the East Coast when I shot that. So like, I found the ending at the end. Like how often, like unless you have millions of dollars, you don't get to do that. Like, but this had no money, so I got to do that. It's kind of great.
Yeah, that water imagery is very good. And your film is stronger water as well. Very strong.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I like the feather too, and I really loved the film just at those moments really came into color, just briefly, as a kind of other, I don't know, something else that's celebrating the imagination. Really, really perfect.
You talk about it, Jim, like that one of the, you talk about it a lot, and that, you know, first of all, I love you. I do. You know, you're a guiding light. There are not many people out there doing what he does and consistently doing what he does. But beyond that,
He has bad taste.
I have bad taste. I'm fine. I'm fine. Oh, excuse me, Lana. How much is that? 50 cents? I said it twice. But the thing is, no, I'm messed up. $5. I'm good for a few more. But you know, but music, like that place that we find in poet. And I just believe it's so much closer to poetry and music than it is. It's feeling like, so like you could analyze and say, oh, we went into color like as a dream or something. But I wasn't doing that. I felt that. I felt that moment of that clarity being important. I just felt it felt right to do that.
Some
Like
poet,
music.
I forget, who said you don't have to understand a poem to know what it means.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the nature of this film and children and the beauty of their understanding of the world, but they don't know what it means. So they're able to understand, and we get all clouded by this.
There's someone working out over there.
Recently I just turned 25 and I just told this show this week. I don't have a question, I just have comments. I really love how the two tie into each other with faith, because your film had basically faith in Jesus, and your film just had faith in instinct. I find that sometimes as adults, we just kind of like pigeonhole ourselves, we overthink, we just don't go over feeling. And I really appreciate your film because the kids just make you feel the most devastating thing that can happen to you is losing your mother. So, I forgot the response to
Nico.
Nico. So Nico just went off of what he knew that he had to bury the fish. Well, not bury the fish, send the fish off to somewhere else. And what I found amazing was his ability to process what death really means. And he wasn't really very sad. He was very sad that he lost his mom, but you could tell he got positivity within passing away. So, I really appreciate the film because it's really just shows that sometimes, you just have to let things go. I spent a lot of my life just, I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional.
No. That's good stuff.
I spent a lot of my life just being in a box. So this film really inspired me to just wake up and just be free. So thank you.
Thank you. Like something I feel like we should, like, when listening you talk, like, that's the thing about the common art. Like, that people used to understand that. They used to gather around fires and sing and draw on walls. And you don't see any names on caves, do you? You don't see anyone's name going, a cave painting by, whoever. It's these are just dreams. Like, our influences, like, whether it's Jim or John or Charles Burnett or the Three Stooges. It's like, actually I love the Three Stooges because half the time, it's Jules, the director. I never remember half the time the directors. But like, those guys, but they actually made, I'd love to disappear, I guess is what I'm saying. I'd love to disappear in my films. I'd love to disappear into my films, disappear into the spirituality of my films. That they're your stories, they're your dreams. I mean, I want to be pretentious, you know, but, or presumptive. But like, I just think of like poems, like Jim said that poem, you didn't even mention who the author was, but man, that hit me like, bang. It's so true what he just said. And it's mine, because I own it now. I think that's really what great art does. We don't have to always stamp our names on it. Being depressed about not having any money to make another film. But I'm going to get over that shit. I'm going to, I'm going to make another film. I just don't know how. For me. What's next, like, I love being, I know there's some students here who I work with, and I've worked with, and Frances is someone I saw, like, from her first exercises, with people's hands in churches. That's inspiring. I'm going to find something worth going into the fire again. The thing you have to do, I bet Jim can relate to this, you have to kind of go like, I'm going to be an asshole. Like, I just have to, but I have to like just close my eyes and fall into the flames again. Because every time you make a film, it's hard. It's hard. And it's like, you have to be naive again. And so I have to find that energy to be naive again and trust that. So
you have to pretend that not pretend, but you have to believe you can do it. And maybe you are pretending, but as soon as you doubt it, you won't. So, and being hard, I love Dennis Knopper once said about it being really, really, people who don't make films don't realize how hard it is. And he said something like, and the real drag of it is, it's just as hard to make a bad film as it is a good film.
it's so true.
It's just fucking hard.
It's hard, man. It's hard. No mercy.
It takes a lot of your soul.
And in moments like this, by the way, being here, like this gives a lot. You guys, I thank you, and I thank you, Jim, and I thank you, Frances, and Lana, and everybody here. It really gives me a lot. Like, I don't get to show my films that often. And it's so wonderful to share this with, hear what you said over there, and how it hits you as a young man. Like, man, that's just like, that makes me okay. Dust myself off. You didn't knock me down yet. Whatever.
But I got to say, this guy has a very beautiful, resonant body of work, and in a way, like Cassavetes, you don't always get recognized at the time you make these things. So it doesn't matter. What matters is he's made really a body of beautiful films, and we know them. But it's not important, anyway, it's just thank you for them.
And for me, I'm in the dregs of trying to make my first feature film, which is called Astronauts, and based on the true story of the zombie space program in the 1960s.
That is a great idea. Can you just talk about that a little bit? I mean, that is such a great idea. Just talk about the genesis. I mean, it's a real, she made a short that went to Sundance based upon it. She developed in a class that we did, and it's just such an amazing, it's such a great idea for a film. Can you just talk about where that came from and what you're going to do about that?
There's a video online of them. If you type in Zambian astronauts into YouTube, you'll be very happy. Basically, it just takes place in the immediately post-colonial era in Zambia, and it's about just a group of people trying to run from a land that's like full of strife to a blank slate of space and not being able to inhabit to accept the beautiful land that's before them.
It's great.
What a parallel, though. She's preparing a thing about Zambian astronauts, and I know Alex's new project is about zombie astronauts.
Yeah, it's cool. Who would have known? And interesting enough, Lana.
Don't drag her into this one.
She wants to be. No, I don't mean to drag her. This cesspool of Jim Jarmusch's brain. No, actually, Frances did a movie with Lana. which is also kind of a cool thing. Like Lana has only done 2 movies. The second movie she did was Frances's film that she hasn't released yet. But it's a short film. And who's the actress with Lana?
Ilona Ross, who is amazing, and will be in the Whitney biopic very soon.
Yeah, worked with Lana, and it was they did great work together. It was so weird as a father to see like Lana working with someone else. But if there's anybody, okay. But my mother's enough, Joe. My mother's enough. Takes the gas mask off. Tell Jim I love him. Where's your brother when we need him? But anyway, Frances said, work with Lana.
And it was so wonderful to see her in this one because it's just who Lana is, just somebody who's so thoughtful and wise beyond her years, but still able to be a child and be, right for her age and full of life and joy. So it was really nice.
I know they want us to get going here, so I really have to do something for my deathbed. I'm not going anytime soon, trust me. But I do. There's this thing. I gotta photograph audiences because this is something that I need it. I'm going to take a picture of you guys, just for my sake. It's something I do whenever I get the chance to hear you guys.
I'm going to take, and I want you guys to represent New York City, okay? Say cheese, okay? On the count of 3. Okay, represent, and don't be timid, don't be shy. For Christ's sake, I was crying here, all right? So let's give a little love. Give a little love, okay? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Cheese! And one last thing too, A.V. Rockwell, if you can believe that, is a young filmmaker, very talented young filmmaker who helped me do this thing tonight. And I wanted to give her this is not about me, this is about Jim. She's a big fan of yours, Jim. Check this out, this is nothing cool as that. I don't know, A.V. Rockwell, that's for you. That's for you. And this is a t-shirt. That's the thing. Isn't that cool?
Might be white, but I rock all right.